The air in the courtroom felt like it was filled with lead, and the veins on Detective Leon Chen's handcuffed wrist bulged. For 15 years, the metal on his chest had been dusted under the fluorescent light. But at this moment, it couldn't compare to the sobbing of the German Shepherd Rex behind him. That canine companion, who had once worked side by side with him to solve 37 major drug-related cases, was rubbing its nose against the railing of the dock, with its amber pupils reflecting the shiny leather shoes of its owner. This court pronounces the defendant, Liang Chen, is sentenced to 10 years in prison for the crime of embezzlement of evidence. When the judge's voice fell, Leon felt Rex's claws making a shrill sound on the floor. He was once a legend of the Chicago Police Department, but was accused of tampering with evidence 3 months ago. The only evidence was the blurry image of him entering the evidence room late at night in the surveillance footage. At this moment, he was staring at the familiar figure in the third row of the jury bench. Captain Wang Hao was wiping his forehead with a handkerchief, and the gold watch exposed from the cuff was shining coldly under the light. The final request. The silent shout of K9's partner, "Your Honor." Liang suddenly knelt down in front of Rex. The sound of the handcuffs hitting the ground startled the pigeons on the windowsill. "Before I'm taken away, please allow me, ... double quotes, hold my dog for the last time." His voice was as hoarse as sandpaper polishing metal, and Rex seemed to understand something. When his front paws rested on his shoulder, his warm breath sprayed onto the old scar on his neck. It was the dagger scratch that Rex had blocked to protect him during the anti-drug operation 3 years ago. The moment the prison guard untied the dog's leash, Rex suddenly bowed his body, and a low growl that only occurs during combat rolled out of his throat. Liang felt the jacket on his chest being suddenly grabbed by his canine teeth. Amid the tearing of the fabric, a metal object clanged, fell to the ground. All eyes were fixed on the miniature tape recorder in the center of the floor, and Rex was holding it tightly with his claws, his tail stiffened like a flagpole, a posture that Leon had only seen when it sniffed out. C for explosives. Hidden evidence. The truth revealed by military dog's sense of smell. This is framing. The prosecutor rushed forward to try to kick away the tape recorder, but Rex precisely bit his trouser leg. When the police officer trembled and pressed the play button after the current noise, Captain Wang Hao's voice suddenly burst out. "Chen's clean record is just right to be a scapegoat. Print his fingerprints on that bag of cocaine. ... Yes. It's placed in the third drawer of the evidence room. ... Liang suddenly looked up and saw Captain Wang Hao staggering towards the safety exit. The gold watch on his sleeve was exactly the stolen item from the evidence room 3 months ago. Rex suddenly turned to Wang Hao, his front paws digging out sparks on the floor. Liang recalled that half a year ago, Wang Hao had complained about being in gambling debt. And last week, when Rex was patrolling the evidence room, he had been constantly warning Wang Hao's locker. At that time, he just thought it was the sensitivity of a dog. But he didn't know that this K9, which could distinguish odors with a concentration of 1 part per million, had already caught the cocaine powder Wang Hao was hiding in his leather shoes. The Medal of Loyalty. A police dog contract beyond words. When the bomb disposal team confirmed that the tape recorder had not been tampered with, Rex suddenly fell silent and buried his head in Leon's arms. Sunlight filtered through the stained glass and shone on the bullet marks on its back, which were the imprints left to protect hostages during the warehouse raid last year. The judge paused 3 times as he took off his glasses. When Captain Wang Hao was escorted out, Liang heard Rex's throat let out a contented SOB, just like the sound it made when rubbing against his palm in the police car every time a mission was completed. This court withdraws all charges. When the judge's mallet fell, Rex suddenly stood up, his front paws resting on the edge of the dock, and his tongue gently licked away the tears on Liang's cheek. Applause broke out in the audience, and Aang unbuttoned the collar of his shirt, revealing the scar corresponding to Rex's abdomen, the mark they left when they fought armed drug traffickers together in the port of Detroit. At this moment, the 2 scars seemed to merge into the shape of medals in the sunlight. When the prison guard unlocked the handcuffs for Leon, Rex suddenly brought his police badge in his mouth. There were still canine tooth marks on the metal clasp. Liang recalled that on the day he started working, the trainer had said, "The canine is not a tool. It's a brother who hands your back to you." At this moment, He crouched down to embrace Rex, smelling the lingering smoke in the dog's fur and the waxed oil on the court floor. Suddenly he realized that what this police dog guarded with its sense of smell was never just the truth of the evidence, but also the loyal contract that had been forged in the midst of bullets and shells transcended human language.